room 5. We've been learning a little bit about clocks, haven't we? Do you remember some different things we learnt? We learnt when the big minute hand is on the 12, that means it's something o'clock. So what o'clock is it now? If the big hand is on the 12 and the little hand is on the 7, it must be 7 o'clock. If the big hand is on the 12 and the little hand is on the 8, it must be 8 o'clock. If the big hand is on the 12 and the little hand is on the 2, it must be 2 o'clock. Now room 5, do clocks always look like this? Is it always something o'clock? No. The clock hands are always moving around and around, always. They always go the same way. I think you might remember we call that clockwise. If they're moving around and around, they're moving clockwise. Now we know when the minute hand is up here, it's something o'clock. So that's the first special time that we've learned. We're going to learn another special time today. If our minute hand is all the way pointing down to the bottom, and the hour hand is in between two of the numbers, so I'm going to put it up here, a bit easier for you to see. So the minute hand is pointing all the way down to this number. What number is this? It's number 30. Number 30. That means it's when the minute hand is pointing down, all the way down to the 30, and have a look here at what the hour hand is doing. The hour hand is in between the 1 and the 2. It's in between two numbers. That means it's 1:30. Let's see if I can move and see if you can guess the next one. And let's see. I'm pointing the minute hand down to the bottom, and I'm putting the hour hand in between the 8 and the 9. So we know now, if the minute hand is pointing all the way down, it's something 30. And we can look over here at the hour hand, it's between the 8 and the 9, so it must be 8:30. We can say that it's 8:30. Let's try another one, ready? I'm going to move, there we go. So we can have a look. We can see the minute hand is pointing right down to the 30. We can see the hour hand is in between the 3 and the 4. So we know it, we can see the minute hand pointing straight down, so we know it's something 30. We can look up here at the hour hand. We can see it's in between the 3 and the 4, so it must be 3:30. 3:30. When the minute hand is pointing all the way down, it looks a little bit like our clock is chopped in half. That's why you might hear people say 3:30, but you might also hear people say 3:30. You can say both. They both mean the same thing. Some people might say 3:30, some people might say 3:30. I'm going to try to do another time for you. I wonder if you can work out what the clock is, what the time is, before I help you. I'm going to do a tricky one for you. Let's have a look. Do you know what the time is there? Let's work it out together. The minute hand is pointing straight down to the 30. So we know it's something 30. The hour hand is almost pointing straight up, but not quite. It's in between 11 and 12. Have you worked out what time it is yet? It's 11:30. At 11:30 in the morning, that's usually when we have lunch at Kinder. That's when lunch usually arrives. Let's do another one. Can you work it out? Let's have a look together. The minute hand is pointing down to the 30. So we know it's something 30. Where's the hour hand pointing? It's in between the 2 and the 3. So we know it must be 2:30. What's another way we could say that? We could say 2:30. At 2:30, at 2:30, maybe at kindergarten, that's when we finish rest time. Maybe we might be outside. I'll do another one for you. Let's have a look. Can you work out what the time is on my clock? The minute hand's not pointing straight down, so it's not something 30, it's pointing up. So we know it's something o'clock. Where's the hour hand pointing? The hour hand is pointing to the 5. So we know that it is 5 o'clock. At 5 o'clock at kindergarten, some of you go home, and the rest of you, that's when we go down to room 3. Let's do one more. Can you work out what the time is? Well, we know that our minute hand is pointing down to the 30. So it's something 30. And our hour hand, it's in between the 7 and the 8. So we know it's 7:30. I think 7:30 in the morning might be when some of you get up. 7:30 in the morning, I think, is the earliest that anyone can be at the childcare centre. I think that might be when the childcare opens. My friends, I hope you've enjoyed learning about time these last 2 weeks. I hope you've enjoyed making a clock. I wonder if on your clock that you made, you might see if you can make the time something 30. Have fun. Bye-bye.